Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today's literature or book of the week is made by Falcon, Training for Climbing, a definitive guide to improving your performance, by Eric J. I'm assuming it's Hörst. I don't know how to say the O with 2 dots over it, so Hörst. Okay. Nice big book. This is 3rd edition, made back in 2016. So there's a lot of cool things in this book. I'm trying to get the light not to show up in the picture, but there you go. So a way to increase your strength, power, skill, and focus to maximize your climbing performance. Now, why would this be important for survival? Whether it be urban survival, wilderness survival, just your everyday survival, not counting climbing itself as a sport. This will have all sorts of really valuable information for all of it as a way to be prepared for just about anything. Say if you have to climb down the side of a stairs because the stairs itself is gone. So that's grip strength and arm strength and chest. That's all have to do with climbing. Climbing a tree, still climbing. Climbing down a cliff, still climbing. Picking up things that are off-weighted, like due to leverage, you may have, I'll use this as an example. You're here, the item is here. Obviously, that's going to be a lot of leverage you got to move. You know, things to help you with grip and strength. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here about your mental aspect as well and how to handle challenges that may seem impossible at the time. But there are ways around it where you can think about it, how to control your emotions, so you're not afraid. I mean, it's good to be scared, but where to the point where it doesn't stop you from doing what you need to do. So, Training for Climbing by Eric J. Hörst. So this edition is 2016. I don't believe they have a newer version. Cover photo is German phenom Alex Magos on third ascent of lucid dreaming in Bishop, California. A lot of good information. There's a warning right in the very beginning of the book. Climbing is a dangerous sport. You can be seriously injured or die. Read the following before you use this book. This is an instruction book about rock climbing, a sport that is inherently dangerous. Do not depend solely on information from this book for your personal safety. Your climbing safety depends on your own judgment based on competent instruction, experience, and a realistic assessment of your climbing ability. The training and nutritional advice given in the book are the author's opinions. Consult your physician before engaging in any part of the training and nutritional program described by the author. There are no warranties, either express or implied, that the instruction book contains accurate and reliable information. There are no warranties as to fitness of the particular purpose, or that this book is merchantable. Your use of this book indicates your assumption for the risk of death or serious injury as a result of climbers' risk and the acknowledgement of your sole responsibility for the safety in climbing and the training of climbing. Okay? So that's all of that. They're not taking responsibility if you do something wrong. Okay. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole page. This is contents. Forward, acknowledgement, introduction, an overview of training for climbing, self-assessment and goal setting, mental training, very important, training technique and skill, the physiology of climbing, mobility, stability, antagonist training, core, legs, and aerobic training, finger training for strength and endurance. So hold yourself up on ledges and such. Pull muscle and power training, designing your training program, performance nutrition, accelerating recovery, injury treatment and prevention. And then there's a whole bunch of appendices, muscular anatomy, training charts, self-assessment tests, and so forth. Now, like an overview of training climbing. There's a brief history. I've actually made notes in this book. It's how I've read it, I think, twice now. And I still use a lot of the information almost daily in my own regular everyday life. So it has come in handy. So like in this case, self-assessment goal setting. You must actively distinguish what works from what does not work, as well as the ability to recognize what you need to learn versus what must be unlearned. So you may have some information that is not absolutely correct, so you should unlearn it and learn the proper stuff. You also must become aware of your climbing related strengths, weaknesses in each area of the performance triad: technical, mental, and physical, and learn to leverage your strengths to improve upon the weakness. Towards this end, your prime directive must be to train intelligently, that is, to engage training activities that best address your weaknesses. So, work on stuff that is difficult, not stuff that is easy. So there's all sorts of beginning cycle of improvement, goal setting, mental training. Poor mental control can instantly sabotage your physical and technical abilities. It's my bookmark for whatever I was looking up last. Controlling your emotions. Your emotions have direct effect on your body and mind. What you are feeling exerts an influence over the quality of your actions and your ways of thinking. It's important. And there's all sorts of really good information in here. Types of skills. Importance of feedback, developing expert level skills. I'm just going to quickly go through it, so this is not going to take forever. Tips for developing superior technique and movement skills. Physiological. Cannot say that word when I need to. Physiology. Of climbing. I can't say it when I need to. What causes fatigue. Central governor model, strength and power training to recalibrate your central governor. Causes of climbers' posture. We got a pyramid of power, so you got power, strength, mobility, stability. So it doesn't matter how much power you have, if you do not have the mobility or the stability, you're not going to be able to exert that much power, or strength for that matter. It's the building blocks. Talk about simple things like foam rolling exercises in here, stretches, exercises, barbell squat, for instance, grip positions. So hypergravity bouldering, different ways to get your hands around whatever you need to hold, different kinds of grips. Why do strong fingers matter? Well, that's what's holding you up. All of the weight, if you're climbing, for the most part, is going to be on your fingertips and on your fingers. So the stronger fingers can endure longer when climbing on submaximal holds. Strong fingers can grip smaller holds. So there's all sorts of things in here. I recommend you take a look in the book. I'll give you a lot of really good exercises if you want to try them. The information alone, even if you don't use the exercises, is very important as far as I'm concerned, especially when it comes to grip strength. Again, that affects everything. You need to pick up a suitcase that has a broken handle. What are you going to be holding it up by? Your fingers. What about, as I said earlier, if you're in, say, there was an earthquake and the stairs fell away from the building and you got to get down, you can't jump. How to grasp either the concrete blocks or whatever's there or help you get down or up, whichever direction you need to go in, or across. Now you talk about more advanced guidelines, cognitive development, performance nutrition like protein, carbohydrates, your glycemic index, creatine, caffeine, depletion of glycogen, micronutrients, fatigue. There's a lot of really good information here, especially like Eat frequent small meals, take multivitamins when necessary, stretch, foam roll, massage sore muscles, get plenty of sleep. This stuff about climbing injuries, like what you can do to your fingers. So if you are not ready for what you're doing, this is all sorts of stuff you can break or damage. So they go into detail on it. Treating pull injuries, tendon ruptures, ways to tape up your hand. Here we go. Vitamin I, use the good, the bad, and the alternatives. Treating elbow tendonitis, shoulder injuries. And then there's even some training charts in the back. Assessment questions and tips, glossary, index. So that is it. That is a really good book to take a look at. A Falcon Training for Climbing by Eric J. Hörst. I recommend take a look at it. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon, where you can buy the book directly through them, or for Kindle or audiobook. I'll probably leave a link for the free 30-day trial of audiobook if you want to do it that way. You should also be able to find this. This one came from REI a couple years ago, but they still sell it. Do recommend getting it. If you don't have an REI near you, try your local library. They should be able to get it for you. Or if they don't have it in stock, they should be able to get it for you. Or, you could still borrow the book and read it. Obviously, then don't write notes in it, but you can do that kind of thing. So there's all sorts of ways of getting this really good information. I have another book on climbing, which is a more advanced version of this book, specifically for crack climbing. That's the one about crack climbing, Crack Climber's Manual, Jamming with Finesse. So this is literally climbing a crack in a wall. So this is more finger technique and much more crazy stuff that I'm still a little uneasy with. And there's some, I don't know why, but there's advertisements in this book, but different ways to be able to hold yourself up. So this is a much more advanced version of this, and I will be reviewing that book at another time. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. If you like this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. About once a week I'll be coming out with a book or piece of literature on how to extend what you know, be able to help you with all sorts of things. Now, again, this is a survival channel, survival and prep and gear. You may not think a book on training for climbing is a survival thing, but again, I've already given examples about it. How having the ability to know how to put your hands and how to strengthen your hands, be able to help you out with things of this nature, or even just to pick up things that are heavy. It still works the opposite direction. So if you need to pick things up and you can only get a couple of fingers on it, like an emergency, picking up a ceiling beam or something to help somebody or to get some kind of equipment, it all helps. It all translates to it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, leave them below. Subscribe if you can. Share. You can always share my videos. It's okay. And I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching and have a glorious day.